yourself, along with our other guest in this week's episode, Madison Ayers, were a part of the one of the Black Lives Matters protests in the Greensboro, the Piedmont Triad area of North Carolina, where you guys are from. And I want to begin with your motivation as a young Black man, not just to be there, but to also be taking photos, you know, kind of chronicling history. Why was that part important to you as well?
As you said, chronicling history, I'm finally able to be a part of history. A lot of the times I watch these protests, a lot of the times I hear about them, I've read about them in textbooks. And this is the first time in my life I've actually been able to actively be present in a protest for something that matters so dearly to me and is important to my life and so many others around me. And I think, the young generation, my generation, 19 and 29, we have heavy social media presence. We have a big influence in our lives now with all our followers and people watching us. And, as they always say, start early, start young. These things are planted in the kids' minds, how to think, how to accept different people, how to work, intertwine with different people. And I think for the young, we're so easy to be inspired to change things. And like we said, we're going to be a big piece of making the world a better place and making the future a better place. And, I wanted to be there, and I wanted to capture the moments, the emotion, the strength. Like, I remember one photo I took said, "My skin is not a weapon." And my mom actually pointed this out to me, but there was a girl standing there with "My skin is not a weapon," but in the mere like distance closer to the camera, kind of out of focus, was bullets on a cop's chest. And it's just that, like, I want to capture and show people, that's all people are saying. I just really want to capture people's emotion and be able to be one of those people that did that.
Curious to know, as you are, a college age student, you're always trying to learn new things, or in some cases in class, you're being forced to learn new things. Are there things that you may have learned for the first time, or maybe even got more information that could help others understand from being at that protest?
I think for myself, there were some things I learned at that protest about things that have happened in Greensboro that I didn't even know, like 2 years ago, and even years ago, 40, 50 plus years ago, the Greensboro massacre and everything. And now, like, the KKK is not allowed into Greensboro or North Carolina in general. They can't march. And then, like, 2 years ago, I remember the people saying we had our own George Floyd, kind of. This guy died and under the same circumstances as George Floyd did. And, but also, I learned about my community truly, because seeing all the different people, like, I definitely remember saying hey to so many people. And like, you walk amongst your community, but you never truly know someone's character, because we all just live our own lives, and we don't really, we don't always talk to everybody, because that's not really how life's set up. You talk to your friends, your family, and some acquaintances and your associates and stuff like that. But when you got out there, it's like it was just one. We were all individual people. We all had different skin colors, different backgrounds, different everything. Probably things no one even knows. Like, we all go home to different situations. But in that very moment, it was love. People were there for one cause at one moment, and nothing else mattered at that moment. And that was beautiful, just to hear all the voices in unison, everything. That's what I learned most, I think, about my community.
Well, certainly a powerful statement, and something powerful to be a part of, I'm sure. And I'm curious to build off of that. As a student athlete, you might feel, or rightfully so, some responsibility to be a leader of that change here on campus or within Division III as a whole. Have you thought about, even before or since the protest, how that might look for you, how you plan to continue to build off the actions that you've already taken?
I definitely think the atmosphere when I come back to school is going to be a lot different. And I've had conversations with teammates like DJ Sheldon and DJ Shooting and TC and Jamie Pasha and the rest of the guys. Really, like, everybody. Izzy, locking me. I talk to everybody, and you know I think the best thing that we can do is just continue to advocate. Continue to put awareness towards all these situations that happen on a daily basis. Like, we've said a lot a lot of things have been posted, a lot of things have been retweeted, liked, favorited, shared, but really it takes a lot more than that. It takes getting out there and seeing a situation and tending to it in a verbal matter if you have to, safely, because at the end of the day, Black people will we can't do so much without the help of white people, like Caucasian people. We need y'all, like, to truly be successful with finding peace amongst all groups of people. We need you guys, and that's why at these protests, when I see people, that aren't my skin color, like, I was like, that y'all matter so much more than us at some moments, because we really don't have that power, sometimes to achieve the goal, but at our school, I've always been at PWIs, even my high school. And, I feel like I've had my hand in every stick of culture. Like, I can go and hang out with my Black friends all day and then go pull up with my white friends. And, nothing really changes. I know how to fit in every situation. And I think that's why, as a student athlete and as myself, like being Reggie, I think that I can make impact, because I've talked to a lot of the classmates and everything. And, they've slid up on things I posted, and they've been like, "Yo, I just want to let you know I love you, and I'm here for you, and whatever you want to happen, like, I want that for you too." And that's nurturing, like, that feels good. And I feel like we have that love already around campus. Honestly, between the teachers, between the staff workers, whether it's the cafeteria or Westover, like, there are a lot of people on that campus that show genuine love, and that's why I love Lynchburg. But I think, as I said, like, I could be a voice, and I feel like my voice is the right one to use. And I hope that when we get on campus, I can continue to strengthen relationships between both cultures, and just the way I carry myself, whether it's basketball practice just amongst my teammates, or it's being in the cafeteria, or it's being a lacrosse game, or it's just walking on campus to class. I want everybody to make sure that, we're one, we're all together, because this is a huge growth stage in our life. How we carry ourselves now and build our character is going to matter so much in the workforce, because we're going to be in so many versatile and different situations. You're going to have to learn how to work with different people, but it's going to be even better when you mean it, and you're not just doing it to do it. So I think just continue to advocate for change, and everything is going to be a great, great thing.
Is there anything else, any other lasting message that may have been sticking with you during this time, or maybe not even specifically during this time? Because I think it's important for us to know that for our Black community, this has always been going on. I mean, these things have always been an issue. So is there one lasting message that you think will be beneficial for people to hear that might start those wheels, and maybe even in their personal lives, get the wheels of change moving?
I'd have to say, just be together. I really, wow, I can't say too much. There's so much that has gone through my mind these past weeks, like so many just quotes and so many Bible verses and just everything. And I just say it's important to love, and just important to care for the people around you. Don't just exist with the people that, surround you in your everyday life. Get to know them, get to learn them, get to figure out where they're from, what they go through, what they've come from. Because I think, you know, being an athlete on campus with my team, knowing my teammates and knowing their background and just everything they have to deal with, makes it puts so much more passion into every game, every practice, every workout. And, like, I feel like that could help a lot of the teams on our campus as well. And even when we deal with each other, and even when you go to your friends, and even when you come among strangers on campus or people you don't know, or if you're out on Friday night or Saturday night, get to know the people you're around, because it will make the environment much better. It'll make things a lot more fun. And, who what's better than love? What's better than caring the right way? What's better than being in unison with the people that are around you, whether you know them for a second or have known them for years? It's very important just to get to know everyone around you and show some, yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to win when you don't have chemistry. We know that for sure. Well, speaking of winning, before we go, I do want people to go to our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, we'll be posting the video over the weekend, because Reggie knows how to set up his background. We've had some people on the show We've seen videos of kids in classes, the Zoom meetings or Google meetings, and it's been like a boring white wall or like a kitchen picture. This guy's got it all figured out. You have posed it perfectly, man. Looks great.
The practice jersey right there. Was it right there? You know, I left the other one over here. I was like, I couldn't put any more space over there, but I was like, I gotta represent.
Yes, and you have represented this institution in a huge way, and certainly, you know, we can be thankful for your time on ESPN and all the great plays you make on the court. But now is a chance for those that do great things on the field to do some big ones off, and I'm excited to see where we go from this point forward. So thank you for what you've already done, and I'm stoked, man. I think we're really gonna be some true leaders out there come fall.
I think so, and I appreciate you letting me get this message out and having me on the show.